All right, everybody shut it, zip it, sit down, Thank you. All right, good morning, everyone. I'm Sean Spicer. Do not call me Spicy, okay? I am Sean. This morning's press briefing, it's going to focus on the administration's labor and employment issues, okay? We're not going to talk about anything else, okay? I know some of you probably want to talk about North Korea, probably want to talk about Syria, okay? We're not talking about any of that. If you ask me a question that's not about labor and employment issues, you will be removed. Your credentials will be, revoked. R-E-V-O-K-E-D, okay, CNN? You got it? Write it down? Thank you. Now, I'd like to start with a short introductory statement, okay? I have prepared this. As you know, to date, President Trump has created thousands and thousands of terrific jobs. The economy has grown hugely. The president has created the most jobs in the first 100 days of any president in recent history. Okay, and if you don't know that, that's because the lamestream media won't report it, okay? So please check your facts, or better yet, check the facts that I give you today, all right? Okay, now before I open the floor up for questions, I want to let you know that I have standing by two special advisors on labor and employment issues, Mr. Ron Chapman from Ogletree Deacons and Mr. Paul Nason from Lochlord. Okay, I will not need them, but in the case that I do, I will pass it over to them and they can help with your terrible questions, okay? Let's open this up. Anybody have any questions?
Sean.
Glenn, New York Times.
Thank you, Sean. I want to ask about the recently confirmed Secretary of Labor, Alexander Acosta. Many people are concerned, as you can imagine, that he may in fact roll back many of the pro-employee policies of the Obama administration. Do you care to comment on that and perhaps provide some insight into what it'll look like under the Trump administration? Do you care to comment on that?
No, Glenn, I don't, but I guess I'll answer it, okay? I can assure you that Secretary Acosta will not conduct business as usual, okay? He will do many great things, okay, just like everyone else in this administration. Now, the Department of Labor does many big things, okay? It does some things even bigger than that, okay? Now, I believe that Secretary Acosta will roll back several of these regulations, okay, that affect clean water and clean air that we know are disastrous for business. And I think I may have the wrong agency there, so I'm actually going to turn this one over to Ron and Paul. Thanks. All right, now before I take the next question, I want you all to know, I know what the Department of Labor is, okay? Okay, I know it's not the EPA. You wrote down EPA, so those are your facts now. You need to change them, okay? Next question.
Sean.
AJ, CNN, I don't know how you got here.
Thank you, Spicy. Can you explain to us the administration's stance on background checks and employment and how President Trump plans to address this issue?
Sure. Okay, first and foremost, AJ, we are completely supportive of extreme vetting, whether it's for employment or immigration, okay? This administration believes that impediments for employers to conduct background checks and to do all the unnecessary paperwork and the related penalties for that noncompliance, we don't support those, okay? Now, everyone gets all worked up about background checks, right? They're not that big a deal, okay? Everyone in this administration has fantastic backgrounds, okay? All of our credit scores, top notch, as long as you don't look at the bankruptcies, okay? Now, we believe employers should be able to handle these matters as they see fit, okay? And we don't believe that employees should have to give consent, okay, for these background checks, all right? Because, guys, we get it. If employees don't have anything to hide, there's nothing to be afraid of, right? Now, I think I've answered the question, but in the meantime, I'm going to turn this over to Ron and Paul to give some more information on this issue.
More questions?
Sean. Hindu, Teen Vogue, what you got?
Sean, sorry about that. Gender identity and sexual orientation have been hot topics in the news lately. Can you tell us what the Trump administration's stance is on these particular issues?
Yeah, Bindu, I can. Okay, despite reports from the fake news outlets, this administration believes that gender identity and sexual orientation are, like tax returns, matters of privacy for individuals. Okay, that's what we believe, and this administration will and will always be huge supporters of the LGBT community. Okay, we are going to do and have done tremendous things in this area. Okay, now as to the status of these legal issues, I'm going to turn that over to Ron and Paul so they can provide some more insight. Okay.
Sean,
Okay, we have time for one more question.
Sean, over here.
NPR.
Thank you,
Yes.
Sean. The National Labor Relations Board received a lot of attention during the Obama administration for its rollback of anti-union positions that were held under prior administrations. Can you tell us what the Trump administration's position is on the NLRB and its recent rulings concerning joint employer issues and employer policies?
Sure. Heidi, I can. I will answer this question like I do all of your, frankly, weak and horrible questions, okay, with interesting facts, okay? Let's take this. As you know, President Trump received the highest percentage of union voters since any Republican president since, who can guess? Ronald Reagan, 1980. Write it down. Click your pens, write it down, CNN. Thank you. This is a fact, okay? It's not an alternative fact, it's a fact. Check it, okay? It's like 3 + 1 is 4, okay, guys? 2, put those together, 4 every time, okay? It's a fact. The president's performance with union voters is indicative of his love for union workers, okay? They have built fantastic, beautiful buildings all over the world, okay? Now that being said, the president does have some concern over the NLRB's recent positions, especially those seen as attacks on employers, okay? Now, while President Trump's knowledge on these issues is huge, okay? It's bigger than his inauguration crowd, bigger than his margin of victory, okay? Both of which were huge and historic. But anyway, I'm gonna let Ron and Paul give some more insight on this one, okay? Thanks.